Hello, and thank you for joining us for session 6 of Outrunners. I was trying to remember what number it was. It was so seamless. Session 6 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, visit happyjacks.org/Starscape. And to find all the shows on the Happy Jacks Network, you can visit happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi. I'm the GM and actual system designer. So it's very exciting for me to be here. Our first full campaign of this game in its final stages. It is still the very final beta, so there are a few things that are getting tweaked each week as you're watching. It's a live development before your eyes and your ears, friends. So yeah. Heads up, we are missing our unfamiliar this week. Samantha's not feeling well today. We wanted to play anyway, but we'll figure it out. So, all right, let's go around the table. Kai, why don't you start this week?
I'm starting. Haha. Since Nolvath has used their camouflage ability. Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am back tonight playing Rode, the civilian who uses he, him pronouns, and he is fine, unlike everybody else in the crew, so...
Hi, everybody. I'm Jay. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing the human hotshot Lieutenant Jonas P. Hurley, who took a pretty big bite on his shoulder from a large life form last session, and ended up passing out at the very end of the encounter. So I suppose we'll see how he fares this time around.
And hi, everybody. I'm CADave. I'm playing Lawrence Benson, the outsider, who is also in a very rough way, and kind of has shown off the fact that he's a terribly nasty creature when it comes down to it. So he's got a lot to deal with, physically and emotionally with the crew.
But his tummy's full.
But he isn't hungry for the first time in a long time.
Okay, so last time you escorted your passengers. You'd gotten them to last stew the planet that they were going to colonize, and you got them down. You made camp. You helped them settle in. You did a great job surveying the planet and finding the perfect place for them to set up their encampment. They actually were fairly prepared. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
They had these cool little pop-up cabin tent things. You went down. Jonas put up some perimeter guns and stuff to help protect. You saw these cool blue moose things that you named Bloose.
Bloose.
Yes, the Bloose. But that night, as there want to be in places where, unexplored planets with lots of wildlife, there were some predators that showed up. And you had a very interesting combat. We learned a lot about Lawrence and his gigantic teeth and mouth, and that, yes, he is a predator with or without modern technology. And both Lawrence and Jonas got pretty banged up. And we did find out, too, that Igram and their party are actually very good fighters. So it seems like this might be their first time out in the wilderness, but they've been sort of prepping for this, it seems like. Much in very stark contrast to how they sound when they speak of things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So they might actually be okay. Amazing. All right. And I think that's everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. So I think after the fight ended, you two had been taken up onto the shuttle for treatment.
But there are bunks.
Yes, for their bunks in the
Because
shuttle.
it's a luxury shuttle
Yes.
and it can turn into cabins.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's where we
It's
ended.
just one of those fancy motorhomes with the...
Expanding
Big
sides.
sides. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
picture it that when you guys come in, if you were more conscious, that there's hideaway walls that literally pull, and then the benches turn into bunks.
Mhm.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
That's
that's
nice
cool.
bunks.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah.
prison bunks.
Oh. I don't know if Nolvath patched me up much, but I'm bleeding all over them at this point.
Oh.
All right, so let's go ahead and like pick up from right there. We're still loading you into the shuttle. So at this point, all these predators have been taken care of or fled. Just to be clear, if you're just tuning in, these weren't like enemies or anything like that. They were just wild animals that were curious and testing out the defenses of this new area. And hopefully now you've proven that, hey, don't come back here. This is a scary place. So we'll see. So Nolvath was carrying you. Jonas. Okay.
Mhm.
So Nolvath.
And I kind of stayed behind to eat a little more.
Yeah. So you were still munching when we
And
left.
then I'll come limping up the ramp after
Okay.
them.
Okay. How many conditions do you have marked?
5.
5?
Ooh,
Okay.
holy smokes. I have 3.
Okay. All right.
Because it was just the length of the fight.
Mhm.
Because it was like
Yeah.
every round, it was, oh, it's hurting me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Let's keep going.
Well, and you kind of got like multiple hits.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. You are pretty banged up.
Yeah.
You are also pretty banged up, probably like on a scale of human to Lawrence. Like,
Yeah. I think
Human to normal human.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sure, right,
More
right.
than
Yeah,
likely.
yeah.
Normal
Totally
human.
normal.
I probably make sure that I have undistended
Oh,
my
okay.
jaw
Yeah,
before
yeah.
I come back onto the ship.
You've retended your.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
what the term
what the
is.
word
Yeah.
is for that.
Yeah.
I've only ever used distended.
Tended.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Tended?
Yeah,
Yeah,
retended?
retended? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. If you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hey,
please
chat.
add us.
Help me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good call. And so you're up there. So all 4 of you are in the ship, and yeah, and so you're bleeding all over the place. You said, Jonas.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna say that Nolvath kind of pours me into a bed.
Okay.
And you can see my eyes kind of moving, behind closed lids.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm like hearing sounds of eating, or of like something being eaten.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I kind of just started. Anybody get the name of that dropship pilot? Where the hell am I?
Oh, you're awake. You should stay laying down.
Oh God, I don't think I could change my state if I wanted to.
You look like you went through some sort of meat processor.
Yeah, I feel like it too. Oh God.
I'll be there in a minute, trying to bleed entirely into all of the upholstery.
I can't make any promises, Road.
Nolvath's gonna like nod at you, Road. Like, you get them,
Yeah.
and they're gonna go out and check on Igram and the rest of them.
Mhm.
Just trying to get them back in their little cabins and stuff for the
And go
night.
to sleep.
Go to sleep.
yeah.
Anyone who's been a camp counselor knows how they go.
Yeah. Lights out.
Lights out. I can still hear you talking.
Your lantern's still on.
That thing you killed is still gonna be there in the. Well, maybe not. It might not be there in the morning now that I think about it. So, anyway.
Well, it's not going to be there in the morning.
Well, yeah.
I didn't eat all 3.
That's true.
I just ate the one that I was involved in the fight with.
Very like beautifully folded, nice, look like club towels get brought in. I have these and a bit of medicine, but not a lot, and no experience with. Do I just drape it on you?
Listen,
or-
let me take those out. My good hand can at least handle those, and I kind of start. I place one under my head,
Mhm.
and I start trying
can
to
help you
tuck
with
one
that.
under. Yeah, I start trying to tuck one under my arm. I wince heavily.
Road tries very awkwardly to like, let me just, and he's A, large, B, giant, and C, very awkward in the situation, and is trying to like, I can help, and you're already like doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take the help, but I'll say, I think Nolvath got some medical supplies put together for the camp.
Right.
If you could find a stim pack in there or something. I just need something to dull the pain a bit, at least.
I have wine.
Yeah, pour that right in, and I open wide.
Yep. He runs off very, very quick to know where the wine is, not sure where the medical supplies are.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll take either at this point.
Yeah. And he comes back with a very overfull glass of wine, nicely poured. And here's this.
I grab it and I just quickly gulp the whole thing down. Generous pour, just one
Right.
one gulp.
I will be right back. I'm going to go find medicine. Going to go find medicine.
And as you're walking out, something occurs to me. I say, wait a minute. So, make sure that Lawrence is all right.
That's my next stop.
I heard some strange noises happen. I just want to make sure he's okay.
Lawrence!
I think probably from the bottom of the ramp,
Uh-huh.
it's I'll be up in a minute. I seem to have trouble with the ramp at the moment.
All right. I think that Rode wants to know what the trouble is, because he's seen you do feats of
Right.
great strength and agility, and it's a ramp. But you didn't sound like you were actively dying, so he's going to go and look for the medicine.
For sure. And I think the whole time I'm doing that, like, reach out and grab a strut or something,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, kind of pulling one leg behind me as I kind of move up the ramp very slowly. Like, I was okay until I got to the ramp, and then I think all of the, like, fight adrenaline is
Oh, yeah.
dying off, and now it's just like, I have eaten a lot, so I am very injured, and I'm almost in a food coma. Like, I need to sit somewhere, but I have to get up the ramp. So it's like that determined, very and you probably hear like
Yeah.
thump and like a draggy noise.
I think the
kind of.
dragging noise is what
Yeah.
makes him stop and very reluctantly go to the ramp. Do you need help?
Yes, but Lawrence is a mess.
Covered in viscera? Yeah.
Like,
Ah.
you can see that the majority of the blood isn't his. His is greenish.
Okay.
And you can see that there's a big wound also on the shoulder, and then like all down one leg.
You see this somewhat scaled face go white. Yes, I can help you. Here's my arm.
You feel, because your eyes are closed.
Yeah.
You just feel like the one finger at a time wrap
Yeah.
around and then latch on and kind of weight shifts.
Uh-huh.
And then I kind of managed to get myself up the ramp.
Come on.
I didn't expect such a challenge. I appreciate your help.
I hope you mean the creatures and not the ramp.
Both, honestly.
So you also need medicine
I would.
and a power wash?
And then I think he probably looks down and he probably is like, "Oh, my apologies."
I'm going to get the whole place detailed after this because you're bleeding. Whatever else is on you is also bleeding or blood or
It's done bleeding.
it's
now.
wet. Jonas is bleeding. Everything is covered in blood. All right. Ooh. You just stay right there. I will bring you wine, a towel, and hopefully medicine. Yes?
All right. Yes, that would be
Do
perfect.
you know where the medicine is? Nolvath knew where the medicine was, and they're off checking the perimeter.
Probably in one of those crates that we offloaded.
I have to go out there to get the crate.
Yes. I promise it's safe now.
Yes. I'm sure it is.
Don't linger near one of the corpses.
Fantastic. I'm going to go outside where there are no monsters. Yes, you stay right here. Here's some wine.
And like, Lawrence would take the glass of wine and probably look at it and be like, "Do I want to do this again?" Yeah. And he probably takes a sip, and it tastes good. It doesn't taste
Oh.
like transmission fluid like the last sip.
Yeah, this is actually
Yeah,
wine.
right.
Yeah.
and
Like
he's
fine
like,
wine
"Oh."
too, right?
Well, and you kind of probably even see his face. Like he kind of screwed up his face to drink it, and then a little sip hits him, and he goes, "Oh," and like looks at the glass a little bit and kind of raises it up like a cheers, like, "Thank you, thank you."
Very welcome. You enjoy that. And Brave, not at all. Rhoda's going to go down the ramp and go and find the medical supplies.
Okay.
And not cry going outside.
You see that Ingram is there with their two friends, like cleaning up, like putting things away. They seemed a little bit like, oh, okay, like this is like cleaning things. This is the first time. They knew they were going to do it, but again, it's sort of like YouTubers who like technically know what they're supposed to do and aren't like practicing it. Excuse me.
Isn't it?
So the fighting, obviously, they'd had some sort of training, but this is now like actually fighting for the first time rather than like sparring or whatever that they've been doing. So they are a little bit like, did you see this? Da-da-da. Wow, this is amazing. Well, I think this outfit just is done. Like, I don't think we can keep like there's just back and forth about all the clothes and stuff.
Barely out of the ship, Rode looks at them. I'm sure they're not super close. Excuse me.
Yes, Rode. Hi. Yes.
Do you
Did
know
you see that? That was so
I
great.
did. I need to know where the medical supplies are. Do you know where the medical supplies are?
Oh, yeah, they're here in this crate. Are you all right?
I'm fine. Some of our rest of our crew got turned into very large creature chew toys, so they need some medical attention.
Oh dear. Here's the medical supplies.
And he comes very tentatively over, paranoidly looking over every shoulder.
Yeah.
Thank you. And sincerely, thank you. You fought really well.
Thank you. Yes, I have a crimson belt in our
Oh.
native fighting techniques. So I've been training since I was a young girl. At first, or a young person. I was just that's something my family thought would be good for my own protection, to learn like our culture, because we've been doing that since, well, a very long time. And they just kind of go off and like keep talking, and they're very proud about all the things and blah blah blah, and
Keeps you sharp.
yes,
Haha.
but my parents never expected us to actually use it like this, right? We did a good job.
You did such a good job.
Yes.
I'm going to go
Okay.
and deal with the bleeding people.
All right.
You all have a wonderful night.
Yes. But we're going to bed right after this. We are also going to put up a bit of a barrier in the morning, some sort of electronic
Yes.
something.
Please.
Yes.
All right. Good night.
Good night.
Sorry about your clothes.
Yes, yours too, by the look of that sleeve. I'm so
Oh.
sorry.
Don't remind me. And he turns with the medical supplies.
The most relatable moment between.
yeah.
Exactly. Oh, your outfit. Oh, your outfit.
Road returns with a crate. Sets it down right in front of you, Lawrence. But goes in, opens it, looks for the thing that seems to be the most obvious thing that Jonas was looking for. I think just picks a random object. He doesn't really know anything about medicine. And grabs it and brings it into you.
Okay, over to me.
Yeah.
All right. Are you bringing the whole kit?
Just
Whatever.
what he thinks is some
Sure.
sort of, stim pack, whatever.
Okay, this is like a literal pack. So like, if
Okay.
you bring that over, I'll like grab it from your hands. Close enough. I kind of like rip it open with my teeth
Uh-huh.
and pull out the device inside before I like jam the thing in my arm.
Mm-hmm.
It has. I hold it there for like a good 5 seconds while you hear the sound of like kind of like draining sound. And that actually, like when I pull the needle out, like, that causes me to relax. I'm like, okay, all right, that should take care of things for a little bit.
All right.
Road, I don't know what it looks like out there with Igram and their
They're
crew.
fine.
I think I need to go back to the Amber Star and use the medical facilities there.
All right. I think, not to alarm you, but Lawrence is also covered in blood.
Oh,
So
shit.
I think the best course of action is for us to collect our fourth member and depart. Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
We can come back. We just
Yeah.
need a more advanced medical facility.
yeah.
All right.
Have you made it into
Yeah, I
Save
probably
Your
like I'm.
Sitting in a
I think
chair.
I don't even think I got to a chair. I think I sat down like against the bulkhead,
Oh, God.
and I'm kind of sitting there with this glass of wine, just like having a sip now and then, looking kind of like the the pig drunk on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Probably just sort of sprawled there, like, oh, this is all right. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not caring as much, but still actively bleeding and not really doing much about it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think Rode, after Jonas says something very sensible about going back to the ship, Rode's gonna get on his little communicator and just like quickly message Nolvath, come back to the ship. We're jumping back to the Amber Star. And tries to kind of like lock things down because it was all set up for us to sleep in here. And goes, and I think like it looks like he's trying to tuck you in, Jonas, but actually is grabbing like a safety restraint.
Oh,
off of
sure,
the
yeah.
wall to like click you into the
Click.
bed.
Aw.
You stay right there.
I turn around, I see you, and I'm like, holy shit, Lawrence, you look like hell.
Well, I believe the human idiom is you should have seen the other guy.
I did.
Did you bring the med kit over?
Yeah, the whole thing is just like plopped in the middle at this point. And
Okay.
he's just like looking at it, trying to figure out what will fix what's going on with Lawrence. And because it's all just blood, he's just like, every time he looks, he just gets a little paler.
I look into the box and I point to both of you and I say, grab that thing with the yellow and red stripes on it. That's a dermal sealant. It should at least stop whatever drainage what's going on with you,
That's
Lawrence.
probably a good idea.
I think you spread onto the wall. Not to worry you. Here you go.
And like I think it's probably a combination of doesn't drink a lot and blood loss. Like
Yeah,
Lawrence is
yeah.
like a little loopy and he's a little
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
well,
I'm going to put you in a chair.
oh, all right.
Because as soon as Nolvath gets here, we're leaving.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
And he extends one of his very long, taloned hands to you to like help you up.
The same one?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't mess up both sleeves.
Oh yeah, he's surrendered at this point. Come on.
And I kind of honestly, given the way Lawrence is sitting there, it's probably surprising how well he's able to latch onto your arm. You're much bigger, so
Yeah,
you
he's
can
big.
easily hoist
Yeah.
hoist me up. But then it's like all right, and gets into a chair and probably like gets half of the crash webbing on, and then is like,
Come here.
I can't reach that.
Yeah. He's like tucking everybody in. And then immediately like sits down in the pilot's chair, starts to turn everything on, get ready to lift off, waiting for Nolvath to just come in and make us aware that they're not invisible.
Yeah.
And like lifts up the cargo ramp, is leaving what hovered trolleys that weren't still on the ship there, because we could always come back for them if they're really that important.
Yeah.
And he's like, nope, we're going. Okay. He's the mom with the soccer band.
Yeah. Nolvath comes on board
Yeah.
and gets strapped in, and yeah, you're set to go. Yeah, and you have or Nolvath brings you like a communication device was from Ingram,
Oh,
and then
great.
so that way you can, it's not going to go like if once you leave the jump point, it won't work. You'd have to send it and kind of get like email type communications.
Yeah.
But in this system, for at least most of the system, you can do like voice communication.
Yeah, until they have like
Yeah.
a real communication array
Yeah.
on planet. Yeah. Yeah, and very stressed, looking over his shoulder, making sure that they're both still with us to some degree, even if they're sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
And just flies us
Okay.
up to the ship.
Yeah, you get back to the Amber Star and everything looks as it should be, and you dock on the hangar. You've done that many
Yes.
times before, and you're able to get your friends to the medical facilities. Not that you know that much about them, but they're better than definitely on the planet for sure.
Literally on a cargo pallet.
Yeah.
Hover cargo pallet.
Nice.
You're the kids at IKEA on the flatbeds.
Yeah.
right. Or in the grocery store, riding inside the cart.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Right.
Nolvath helps you get them to the infirmary, kind of helps turn on some of the stuff, and then says that they're going to go find Tavrock and heads off to the forest.
Good luck.
Okay. So I'm gonna say I'm lying in a med bay pod, and it's like I'm partially submerged or submersed in maybe like a couple of inches of some sort of fluid.
Okay.
And there are little arms that are coming by, and they're kind of like knitting muscles back together, reattaching tendons and stuff like that.
Okay.
Are you nearby too?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, same sort of situation, or
Yes.
are you like tending to yourself?
I think I'm probably in it. Where it's like one of those scenes from a western where it's like the two guys finally get back to town and they're taking a bath.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm facing the other way, so we're both kind of like
Sure.
this,
Yeah.
and you're facing that way.
The conversation tubs.
Yeah. The best
perfect.
thing in the world.
Yes.
Nice. Nice.
But I don't think that the little robot arms know what to do with me
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Oh yeah.
So they're like not operable, and I'm kind of. You can see that I'm kind of like pinching wounds into place and like holding them there for a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then you see that they're closing.
Yeah. Huh.
It's more like I think it's probably more like the skin is a little Play-Doh-y.
Oh sure.
So like I kind of can push on it enough that it
Cool.
sort of seals up again,
Yeah.
and then I'm like every once in a while, like a real bad spot I hit, and then I'm like probably a little creepily, like snarly faces, not super friendly.
Yeah.
It's not just a wince; it's like a hiss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Watching a shark wince.
Yeah. Right. And Road, where are you? Just out of curiosity.
I think Road a little bit undone at this point because he is way out of his element, but is genuinely frightened for both of you. So is actually there and like trying to offer things that might be of help, and like if someone points out something that they need or want, he will just bring it.
Now, just to clarify, the way that like wounds and injuries work in Starscape is they are completely narrative. Like you mark those conditions, and those are your emotional conditions about being hurt. So if you're marking guilty or angry or whatever you're marking, your wounds heal in the appropriate amount of plot time, but those feelings stay until you clear them with moves. So even if you two get perfectly healed, you still might be having those angry feelings or whatever until they're dealt with. And the crew moves are generally how you deal with conditions. So just for all those you out there looking at the system. So you're starting to feel better, Jonas. Like it's going to take a little while. Like human bodies are kind of frail even with this amount of tech.
Sure, yeah.
But you're definitely like out of the woods as far as your health at this point.
And I'm not like enhanced or anything like that. Like I don't have any, cybernetic parts or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So what are you talking about in the conversation tub? You can't have a conversation tub and not have a conversation.
true.
Sure. I have marked angry and afraid, and I've been shaken besides getting my shoulder right proper bitten, but also kind of seeing a side of you that I haven't seen, like at all, anywhere. Did not expect to see. I don't even look at you. I'm kind of just staring blankly ahead, like while these things work on me, and through like little painful bursts. Because even though I've been, what's the word, anesthetized, it's just the damage is like pretty severe. So I'm still feeling something, right? I say, Lawrence, that was. I did not expect to see what I saw down there. You all like that?
There are others that are probably much worse than I am.
Jeez.
I apologize. I have attempted to insulate you from the harsher bits of my species. We consume what we need in the technological sense and in the very personal sense of when we hunger, we find food. I did not expect the creatures on that planet to be quite as intelligent in their fight. Their tactics were impressive for animal intelligence.
Yeah, not bad for a bunch of pack animals.
I found myself unable to maintain the facade of civilization. So I apologize to you both. I know that that's not particularly something you'd wish to experience again.
If it keeps us alive, absolutely, I would.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. But as a more trained in infiltration tactics from my people, I rarely fight on the front lines like that. It's I hate to admit it, but a little bit exhilarating. I see what the legions enjoy about it.
You're doing what you were made to do.
But I do feel badly that I wasn't able to control myself a little better.
It sounds like you're connecting with them, so I'm going to have you spend a trust.
Uh-oh.
Down from the top?
Oh, well, no, I'm back down to 3.
Oh.
Ooh.
Now
Which
you're in
makes
familiar
sense.
territory.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
You might get it. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens so you're right now,
Yes.
when you make a personal connection by being vulnerable with a crewmate, spend a trust. Together, you kind of are creating what happens right now, and afterwards, we'll see how they feel about you.
Sure.
My sense of it all, besides the fact that you were doing what was going to keep us alive, who am I to judge you for the actions that you've taken that have kept me safe and that have clearly come at quite a cost?
Well, thank you.
I am glad to know this about you. People's true nature is trustable.
Thank you. I appreciate your openness.
It isn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Though I don't like blood.
I will endeavor to keep it inside in the future.
I think we all should. Unless your blood is on the outside for some reason, then your vascular system is massively underdeveloped.
But I'm only sorry that I wasn't able to protect everyone better. And I kind of like reach out a hand across the tub to like pat you on the knee, whatever I can.
Oh,
kind of
sure,
reach, like,
sure.
like a kind of thing. Like I appreciate your willingness to also fight. I knew you were good in a spacecraft.
When my friends are in danger, I'd like to think that I could be of some use.
Well, you certainly were. I don't know if I would have made it back to the ship if you hadn't helped.
My head kind of, I've been lifting it to kind of talk to the both of you, but there's this ripple, this sort of gentle slosh of fluid as I lay my head back. And I say, "God damn it, that was one of you. How the hell can we repel a whole legion of your folks?"
And that's why we're running. We're playing my game.
Look, Road, if there's one thing I've learned in my career as a soldier, it's that you can only run for so long before you can't run anymore and things catch up with you. And then I remember something. So I kind of like stripped down to my waist. I'm pretty sure that hasn't changed.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just have
Yeah.
been pouring me in whatever
Yeah.
state I'm in. I realized I kind of like reached for my pant leg. I put my hand in, I unzip a pocket, put my hand in, and I realized that like that picture that
Yeah.
I kind of hold dearly is still in there. It's okay, And then I pull it up slightly, kind of give it a look. There's this huge sigh of relief, and then I just put it. Actually, no, I'm not gonna put it back in the pocket. I kind of just set it aside where it can't get soaked in any kind of dermal fluid or anything like that. And I say, yeah, we can run all we want, but it's always only a matter of time. And Lawrence, I will stand by you as much as I can. You have saved our hides. You saved our hides down there.
No, I appreciate that.
But Lord, if it comes down to facing you and we cannot run, facing your people and we cannot run, I'm at a loss as to what we can do.
And that's why we run. We run and we run. I won't be cornered.
I reach like if your hand is still on my leg,
Yeah.
I'll kind of like put a hand on yours, and then I'll reach out for you. I'll reach like a hand out for you.
Road does not reach back.
Okay. In that case, it'll kind of just form a fist, and then just whoosh, splash into the water, and then I'll close my eyes. It's a lot.
Yeah. All right. So it was mostly with you, Jonas. So you're going to be our decider for this move. Do you feel closer to Lawrence now?
I do. I
Okay.
do. After that, and like kind of seeing how you sprung to action and took those hits, yeah, I do.
Okay. And do you feel like they did or did not reveal a significant truth during this conversation?
They absolutely did.
Okay. So go ahead, both of you clear a connection, and you earn your trust back. And then you both, since you revealed a significant truth, you double that, so you get to earn +1 trust, Lawrence.
Hey!
And both of you clear another condition.
Oh.
Hey! The magic of friendship, everyone.
Yeah. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Like,
You're right, though.
yeah, you get banged
This
up.
is how it
and
works
then
in Star Trek anyways. It's fine.
100%
Medical base are powered by friendship.
friendship. You have to
Yes.
go have the dramatic conversation, and then they get better.
And then suddenly it works.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, same thing in all of them.
Play Starscape. We're back it on July 9th.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clear angry and reckless, and I will maintain afraid.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's legit.
I cleared angry and afraid,
Oh, okay.
but I'm still disdainful, resentful, and reckless, which is a choice combination.
Yeah,
That's a buffet of problems.
fine.
I was trying to spread these conditions out because I didn't want to end up with the -1.
You didn't end up crashing.
The way I was rolling things until it got good. Yeah.
All right. So you spend the appropriate amount of time healing yourself, and you're probably still like a little like sore, like
Oh,
the
yeah.
bruises, like it's not 100%, but you're definitely like stitched up. It's like like how we would be a few days after stitches, so it's still a little
Yeah.
bit tender. You've got to be a little careful with it, but you're all right to move around the ship and things like that now. Nolvath has not come back, but they also haven't like sent up a distress call.
Or maybe they did
Or
come
maybe
back
they
and we
have-
just
yeah,
didn't see
Maybe
them.
they're
Don't
walking
know.
around. Yeah,
Yeah.
they haven't talked to anybody, so yeah, maybe they're upset about what happened too. Just need some space.
They're
Maybe they're
fighting
still
their own
like-
megafauna. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Maybe Tolvath just really likes the forest. Who knows? So what would you like to do now that you're patched up?
I think as they started to get closer to being better, Rode kind of excused himself. And I think after that conversation got a lot quieter. And just takes himself off to his luxury quarters to go sulk alone.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is Road feeling right now? Like,
It was fear, but fear in a very like animalistic, visceral, like there are predators that could eat me kind of way. And that was, while not a sensation he's felt a lot in his life, there was kind of like, we're on an adventure exhilaration behind it. But the conversation, specifically Jonas talking about you can't run forever, was very based in real fears. And so what was a like, haha, we're on an adventure, has now come back to, oh no, that's right, everything is actually kind of awful. And so he definitely feels more distance than he did like tucking Jonas into the bunk. And I think that he is very sad for that point of view.
yeah. Oh, all right. So good. So such a heavy scene. All right. So, you all should probably discuss what you want to do next. Are you going to stick around last stew and babysit Ingram and their friends? Ingram? No.
Yeah, I think I'm about ready to move on. If they look like they're gonna be okay, you know, I'll leave the perimeter defense that I've set up. Sounds like they're setting something up. You know,
They seem fairly prepared, shockingly enough.
I think like one more trip down just to like
yeah,
get the stuff we left, because we left in a hurry. Let Nolvath go take more strange samples. You know, one more just like check in. You check on your guns before we leave, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
And then
Maybe add another unit.
and then just like confirm that there's going to be a point of contact for
Yeah.
whoever you got coming. Concerning.
Which
It's an accountant.
reminds me.
Sure.
Before we leave, I go up to you and I say, "Hey, Lawrence, make sure that your associates key in this remote code so that the guns don't start ablazing."
I will pass that message along immediately. Yes. That's an awkward landing.
Oh yeah. Here are your clearance codes. Remember them.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go down, you visit them. We can roleplay it if you'd like. One thing that you find that they did do when you go down there, they took samples from the different animals from the night before, the ones they found. Like they did find like one of the blues that was like partially eaten by these predators, things like that. And they were actually able to use some of their technology in addition and add it to your gun system that you've put up, Jonas.
Yeah.
So it senses like the DNA of just the animals.
Sure.
So
Okay.
it's not, so it no longer even is just clearing the people there. Like it's just seeking out specific animals.
Okay. All right.
So that way, because they're very worried about like messing with the ecosystem too much. So they don't want it to like shoot the blues because the blues aren't, a danger to them. So like they just want to like have it to pick up the predators if they get too close. So
Can one of their numbers be like setting up a giant harp already?
yes.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's just part
There's
of their
already
culture.
a
They're
gazebo
like,
for some
yeah,
reason.
yeah, yeah,
The first structure they put up. It's a permanent structure.
yeah, yeah.
Just an
I
outdoor
love it.
gazebo.
That's awesome.
I think also before we leave, Road has like a very clear like city structure map that he begins to like draw out from
You're
their
master planning this.
yeah, and
this
literally like
landscape.
while everyone's off doing all these like important mechanical like survey and safety stuff, Road is sitting in the middle of the camp and is starting to like draw on a like an actual data pad, and it looks very like architectural. This is like full like architect schematics and things like that, just like sitting there drawing things out. And before we leave would offer it to Ingram as a like, this is where I see the infrastructure being possible.
Yeah. Oh, this is amazing. We had some crude plans, but we thought it would be much longer before we actually needed to draw this out. But this is fantastic. What? How did you learn to do this?
Oh, this is actually what I trained in. It's city planning,
Oh.
municipal structures, and simple water things like getting the water from the lake, making sure it's purified, and putting it to good use with the trees and that sort of thing. Trees.
This is fantastic. You've all done so much, and it's just been. We're so appreciative. We were discussing it last night. We were trying to come up with something, and perhaps we could call our city Amber Star.
Oh.
Well, it's mighty kind of you all. We will gladly accept that.
Yes. Well, first we thought it maybe should be Rhodia, but then we thought maybe we should include everyone, not just your captain. So.
You're right. The ship as a whole is worth the credit.
I give you a little bit of side eye at that point. All right, okay. Not gonna blow the cover or anything like that.
Excellent.
The last thing I'll do for Igram and their crew is just kind of like go over the gun system with them and like how to maintain it. I'll leave a few clips of ammo and say if these things ever run out, just snap one of these things out, snap one of these things in there, and you'll be all set to go. I think after our little encounter, no more of these things should be coming in to mess with you. Hopefully.
Yes. Well, at least not for a week or two until we get a little bit more structure in place. But I think we're prepared now.
I like the fences.
Yes. We're starting to put those in place, and again, hopefully they'll be electrified when it's all done, and that'll just.
You
keep
should look into
everything.
biodomes.
Oh, that would be delightful. Although, eventually the point is to live amongst the trees in their natural habitats.
Then it rains. Ugh.
Yes. Yes, the trees need rain.
Oh. Of course, yes.
You're in city planning, you're sure?
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh.
Amber Star it is. Excellent name. Are any last things you want to do or say, or?
I think I'd reconfirm with them that they know that this person is on the way
Mm-hmm.
and they're here to help
Mm-hmm.
and help keep up with the account, and if they need anything from us, they can pass word through them. It'll get back to me.
Mhm.
Just go over all of those kind of details and give them the person's contact info, whoever it is.
Mhm.
All that kind of thing.
It's someone with a very suspiciously nondescript name.
Space John Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, all right. They don't seem to notice anything amiss at all about it.
Cool.
So, yeah. All right. Well, thus ends your current visit to Lastu. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens in the future.
We'll be
But-
back. They're gonna grow money for us.
Yes, they will.
We'll be back.
Hopefully, yeah.
At some point, we get to collect.
Yeah.
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 In like
Yeah.
a generation.
It's gonna be a while. But yeah. All right.
I think on the flight back up, I probably chuckle a little bit. And I turn to the two of you and I go, after all these hundreds of years, the Amber Star managed to do its intended purpose one more time.
Oh yeah.
True enough.
Right.
Fascinating.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of the ship left to explore, and some life forms that we haven't yet accounted for. We might find yet another purpose out there somewhere.
Yes. I am curious about our hitchhikers.
Yes.
Or
But not
or
so
we're the
curious
hitchhikers.
that we talk to them in any detail anytime very soon.
No. We've been doing fine so far.
Yes.
I think when we get back onto the ship, I do a quick scan to see what other. This is a pretty like isolated system,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Very.
I just kind of do a quick scan as to what the nearest other systems are.
Mm-hmm.
And if we spend any time in the bridge at all, I'll turn to you and I'll turn to both of you and say, well, the one thing that one benefit that we are reaping from this little excursion of ours is that we are pretty isolated. I don't think there are very many civilizations out here. So, if you all don't mind, at least until we figure out what to do next, I'm okay laying low.
Yes, I think a little bit more R&R would do us well. Not on that planet.
No. I'm perfectly fine doing it here on the Amber
If I
Star.
see one more antlered creature taller than me, I'm leaving.
I think I'll kind of I'll pilot us back. I'll pilot the ship back towards those mines.
hmm
Just so we can kind of be among asteroids,
Mhm.
you know, to make us a little bit, you know, to just
Less obvious.
yeah, exactly. And if there's anything, I mean, I take readings. Is there anything interesting at all? Like,
That was my
they're all
question.
pretty derelict.
I was gonna ask this.
Yeah.
It seems like for the most part they're abandoned. There's a few systems on different places, but you know, it's hard to read exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's nothing. There's nothing powered enough to be like a life support system.
Okay.
Anything like that.
Yeah. And I mean, we're pretty well equipped in the ship. Nothing that we would necessarily need to.
I have some understanding of like equipment,
Mhm.
especially that kind of stuff. Like, is it just obviously like they finished mining here and they just didn't want to take it all with them? Yeah.
Yeah, it they either got all the ore that was there, or they got all the ore that was going to be a profitable amount.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, all right, peace out,
Yeah.
and just like left all this stuff.
Like all the thousands of mines across the western U.S. that
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Still
They're
have
everywhere.
like 1800s rusty stuff outside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They still find pickaxes and all that stuff, and they're
Yeah.
just like, everyone's just like, okay, we're done.
Yep.
Yep, left it there.
Well, I'm running low on wine.
Another excursion out into the ship.
Real wine. I have never found real wine on this ship. All of the wine that I always have is from my personal stores that I've gone out of my way to keep stocked. It's been a minute since we've been in a place that had real wine.
You're not wrong about that. I could use a little something more palatable than that bottle I found a few days back.
I'm not sure that was liquor.
beggars can't be choosers, as my people used to say.
We will be above being beggars then, and you will not drink any more of that, and I will share a bottle with you.
All right, okay.
And then we're going to a civilized port where they actually sell bottles of real, verifiable spirits.
I'm all for that. Lawrence?
How many other types are there?
Oh, there's a galaxy's worth, dear.
Oh. I would be interested.
You did seem to like that wine I gave you the other
That was
night.
delicious. Not nearly as
I have one more bottle of that.
excoriating as the previous beverage.
It shouldn't feel that way.
Well, if there's more things out there like your wine, I'm all for a visit.
Good. A wine excursion. What a nice distraction.
I'm all for it. All right, we'll tell you what. Let's get to that jump gate. Where is what's a good sauce?
Oh, I don't know. Kimmy, how far do we have to go to find wine?
Of all the questions I was anticipating, to find a civilization
Yeah.
that has some sort of spirits, you probably like a very small jump.
Yeah.
Because like while this is out here, there are like colonies like out on the and in the edges of
Yeah.
space. So it's not in this system, but but you can use the jump gates to get there.
Okay.
If you're looking for
Oh.
fine wine specifically, it might be a couple hours and jump.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Do you have a particular kind that you want to get, or
No,
does
I think
Road
that-
have a particular?
I think that every port that we go to that sells any kind of wine or spirit, he just buys some, which is why he always seems to have something on hand because
Okay.
he's just always, it's part of his routine. He buys nice food that you never see him cook, and he always has some sort of alcohol on hand.
Okay. All right. You know what? If that's the case, I'm gonna pilot the Amber Star back to the jump gate, the one jump gate that we have in the system. And I'm gonna say that we can actually connect our comms to the jump gate to kind of like get a system, like an analysis of what's reachable, like where things are.
Like, where does this jump gate go?
Yeah, exactly. Or like
Ping.
what's nearby, you know. And I'm gonna try to find like a fairly civilized but not too populous like frontier town,
Okay.
something on the outskirts of like the galactic quadrant that we might not garner as much attention from. And if for some reason, you know, I'm still thinking about like just thousands of you descending on a world.
Yep.
If for some reason we are caught up with, the worlds are kind of going to be far enough away that other systems aren't going to be endangered.
Okay. In your system, you found a place called Barco 4, and it is kind of exactly what you mentioned there. It's a system that has a couple inhabitable worlds
Okay.
that have kind of been colonized and taken over centuries. Like it's been generations now. So they've developed a culture together over these planets because they are so close together. So it's sort of like, I don't know, like there's, like each one has a little bit of a different flavor, but on the same kind of the same culture.
They're frontier
Sure.
towns
Yeah.
that are
Yeah.
all interconnected.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's like, it's going to be very U.S. centric, but like there's some, you know, it's like there's the LA vibe and then like the New York vibe. So it's all the same like country,
Yeah.
but very different vibes. Same thing, you know, with many other
It's like
places.
the Fresno vibe.
Yeah, the Fresno. Well, yeah, they're not the New York vibe. All these
Sure,
places
yeah.
are Fresno vibes,
Yeah.
but it's a very inside joke. I'm sorry, people in Fresno.
No.
Fres, yeah.
Yeah. So each one's a little different, but they're all there. But there is one that's a little bit bigger. That's kind of like their hub between them. So most of them are residential and agricultural, and then there's one town on one planet that's kind of like where they all go to the grocery store, and they all not the grocery store, but like to go buy things when they need things, like just like the mining towns. So you'd go
Yeah.
off and you'd work your stake for a while, and then you'd come back and you'd be like, hey, I need a pickaxe
Yeah,
or whatever it was.
reprovision
You guys
and
talked about
stuff,
pickaxes
yeah.
now. It's stuck in my brain.
Sorry. An archipelago where there's only one island big enough in the archipelago for an airport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
perfect. There you go.
That's all those
Exactly.
people come to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're not going to
yeah.
go to all these little towns, so there's one that they can get people to come to sometimes.
Yep.
I actually key that in, and I see the name like populate on the screen, and I say Barco 4 rings a bell, and then I kind of just brush the thought off.
Okay.
And I present the option to the two of you. I'm like, all right, this seems like a good enough place as any, at least.
Do we know what civilization it is
Yeah.
from?
It's a mix of things. It sort of started as human, but akin to we're gonna just keep rolling with like the mining town like analogy here. There were resources discovered here, and so a bunch of different people from different worlds came. They've kind of over the generations created sort of a culture that's kind of emerging, like emergence of all of them.
Sure.
So there's a lot of different like looking species here. They all kind of live the same. They all kind of speak the same language.
How long's the jump?
For this town, probably like 6 hours.
Oh, okay, all right,
Easy.
all right.
Yeah, it's
all right,
less than
yeah.
a day.
I think looking it over, just the like little bit of information we do get, Road's like, this seems like somewhere my people might be. Fine, it's close. Looks like they'll have something to drink and food.
Yeah, precisely. I'm a bit done with our with the rations that I've busted into.
Yes.
You do see on the readout, like it says all the things kind of about the port, and it has some restaurants and things like
Okay,
that.
all right,
So
great. Sounds good to me.
yeah, probably not like white linen tablecloth type restaurants, but
Yeah.
All
better
right.
than soup.
And the Amber Star just like starts entering the jump gate, and there's that jump engine spinning up, and we're on our way. Yeah.
I'm gonna go get dressed. For 6 hours.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I like the idea of the ship is so large that the front end is fully into jump space before the tail end actually
Catches
catches
Yeah.
up.
long
Yeah.
Star
Yeah.
Trek stretch, but it's really long.
Yeah.
Or
So,
like,
like-
the Stargates when like
Yeah.
part of them is through, and
Yeah.
then that's one of the fun things about the system is just getting to talk about all the shows we like
Yeah.
so much.
All right.
All right, yeah. So you're getting dressed, Road.
Yes.
Anyone else have something they want to take care of while they're puttering around for 6 hours?
I think Lawrence probably goes to reassemble himself as passing, not as what he is. He goes and puts the makeup back on and gets out the hairpiece. We're gonna be in civilization again, and like, oh yeah, I got to get myself ready. So
Yeah.
he kind of gets all that stuff together. And the viewing audience at home, it's very hot in Southern California right now.
Yeah.
I'm not doing the coat.
Yeah,
I'm not
sorry.
nearly as dedicated as this guy. So you get the hair, and that's what you get.
That's
Yeah.
powerful of you.
It is.
Honestly, that's worse
Yeah.
than what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Luckily, the AC's been on in here for long enough now. It's
Yeah.
still
Oh, it's
really
much.
hot in
It's
here.
it's still pretty good, but it's not. Let me put on a sport jacket.
No, definitely
No.
not. Okay.
I'm fresh off the mend, but I feel like I just want to be active, so I'm going to I go to the garage. I have a couple of like training dummies for all intents and purposes, but they're little floating,
Yeah.
automated automatons.
No, sure.
They kind of like float in the air, kind of like the ones in Star Wars, but instead of like
drone.
fighting it with lightsabers, I have 2 sticks
Oh, cool.
that, I kind of like do moves, and I wince through the occasional like knot in my shoulder. But just I kind of grit through the pain and keep on going.
I think while you're doing that, because Rod just went to go change clothes, it wasn't actually going to take him 6 hours. But he was going to like go and change, and then go check on his ship, and walks in and sees you training.
Sure. Okay. All right. All right.
And just kind of like stands in the doorway and just watches all of this unless you stop.
Yeah. Yeah. No, actually, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say that like I go through a little, combination of these things, and then it spins me around, and I see you at the doorway.
Yeah.
And I take the sticks and I kind of just doot, doot, tap the drones, and they poof, hover down to the ground. They're disengaged, and I say, "Oh, hey, Road. How you doing? Sorry, I was just getting a little. I know you just patched me up, but I was just I can't stop moving right now."
Well, that was impressive. You both are all three of you are very capable in a fight. I'm fortunate to be among you.
Well, funny you say that. Seems like there are sides of you too that you've yet to reveal. And I kind of point one of the sticks to your holster.
Mm-hmm. And he's dressed a little bit more toned down.
Okay, sure.
Than normal, but he looks a little bit more like he's actually like going into an old west town. He's actually wearing like a vest and a shirt and a nice tie, and then he's got like ridiculous skin tight pants, and then like fully a little like holster.
Yeah.
His thigh platform is like really obvious where he keeps all of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I keep it on me for security. I'm not a fool.
I understand that. Can be a lawless world out there.
Yes.
Lawless galaxy.
And I tend to go to the places where not as many prescribers to the law are.
Yeah, I understand that too.
What did you learn how to do all of almost like dancing?
This is a long venerated tradition among my people. It's an art called Kali.
It was beautiful.
I kind of like look you up and down and I say, you interested in learning some of it?
Oh, I would fall over my feet. But
Rode, I get the feeling that there's a little more to you than that. I say, listen, your physiology is perfectly suited for these kinds of
I
movements.
have the right number of limbs, yes.
Precisely. Your larger size means that you have a longer reach, which means you can keep things at bay. And I think honestly, your friend over there can handle things from a distance, but I do want to make sure you can handle things up close as well.
I prefer to just run away. It seems to be the safest option for me.
And if that safest option isn't available, I kind of like go up to you and I extend a stick out your way.
You served in a whole world of martial combat that is well outside of my comfort zone. There are plenty of fighters in where I'm from, but I'm not one of them.
Okay. Well, whether you feel like you're one of them or not, it's kind of a lot of fun to smack on something with a big old stick. Come on.
So it sounds like you're asking Rode to trust you.
Yeah. Sure, yeah. Trust me. Okay.
So when you step up and take the lead, with any number of PC crewmates, spend a trust and pitch your idea to them. Roll
Okay.
2d6, and you may spend a trust, up to 3 trust, to add +1 to your roll for each.
Let's see. I mean, I am at esteemed, so I'm good for this, I think. I'm gonna say, tell you what. Why don't we make a friendly wager?
Oh, now you're
Over
speaking my
this.
language.
That's what I thought. I walk over to my locker. I give it a quick boom boom and it just pops open. And there are several other sets of these sticks of like different lengths and sizes, right? I pull a couple that I think would be pretty well balanced for you and I present you with like a series of them. I'm like, take your pick, whatever feels good to you.
Only because it's a wager. And he very reluctantly reaches out and takes it, following your lead as to where you were holding yours.
Yeah.
And for all of his reluctance, you do see that he knows how to hold a weapon.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent.
Wait, so let's resolve this. Is roll your
Sure.
trust. So
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you
All right.
spend one trust, and then are you spending any others to get
Let's
plus
see.
ones?
I'm going to spend 2 trust, so I
Okay.
get an additional +1 to that. So that's spending a trust, but I only get a +1 for that extra one that I spend, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Excellent.
And then you roll 2d6.
All right.
Plus
here
the
we
1.
Go. Here we go. And I don't add any stats to this, right? It's just,
Nope.
Okay.
If you have some specialty, you can add that, but no stats.
Nope. Not. I mean, I have hand to hand, but I don't think that necessarily applies at this moment. So
It's
Not yet.
not how you're convincing them.
here we go. Come on. That's a 6 plus 1, so it's a 7.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
So on a 7+, you make a good pitch. See who follows your lead. So it seems like, are you going to spar with them or work on learning this road?
I think he is cautiously interested in hearing you out.
Okay.
But there is, I will tell you that he is afraid to actually wield the weapon that he is holding. This is the 3rd time you've seen him hold something dangerous
Sure.
and not do anything with it.
Okay, all right. You know what? I sense your nervousness. I kind of see the white knuckles kind of gripping this thing. And I'll say, listen, Road, these things here, and I point to the drones, don't worry about that. They can take some abuse. I kick one to activate it. It kind of flits up in the air. And I just give it a solid...
Oh. So what's your wager?
All right, tell you what. And I kind of like my eyes kind of look at you and slim a little bit, sizing you up in a way that you've not seen me size you up before. I say, I'm fairly confident that you can maybe land 3 hits on these things before I land 3 hits on mine. If I am correct about that, I will spend what savings I have in our next stop to buy you the finest bottle that I can get my hands on. And if I am wrong and I manage to land my 3 hits first, we take your shuttle out for a spin.
Ooh.
A little fun ride.
I can always just buy you wine, but fine. I can go for a spin.
All right. Okay.
And he says that, and he actually spins the stick.
Oh,
Okay.
I love it. That's awesome. Okay. All right.
So it looks like they're following your lead.
Yep.
So you both get to clear a condition. You, Road, you get to clear a condition and earn a trust.
Neither of those things.
It's okay. Jonas, you get your trust back that you
Okay.
spent,
Excellent.
and you clear a condition.
Okay. Great.
Yay!
So I am condition free again. I think, yeah, like being in this situation where it's more of my being in the situation where it's more of my like wheelhouse. It's my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I managed to get rid of afraid.
Nice.
I pull one of the drones. I kind of give it a tap, and then I send it over your way. And then the last thing I do is I head over to a little panel on the floor. I kind of tap a few, buttons with my toes, and little squares kind of like delineate themselves, like your area and my area. I say, like, again, these things can take a beating, so do not hold back.
You said I just have to hit them, right?
Yeah.
With the stick?
As best you can. Do you want another one? This is generally a 2-stick deal.
I'm quite capable with just the one, thank you.
All right. And I take both my sticks and I kind of do a little flourish with them too. It's like when cowboys like spin their pistol in their hands.
yeah.
I do a little bit of that. Yeah. And I get ready. Yeah. And we start this sort of little training exercise. Actually, I'll say I'll actually give you like specific examples because you're kind of like learning the art. So I'll do a couple of moves. And I'll say, okay, first one, and it's a simple little like strike combo.
You see him take a stance that is so not what you're showing him, because I've seen what you're talking about. he's holding it like a fencing rapier.
Oh, okay. All right. And it's one of the longer ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And is trying to kind of remorph something that you can tell he is smoothing over something that is already there.
Sure.
That he has not shown you.
Okay. All right.
As he seems to pick up what you're putting down fairly quickly.
All right. Excellent.
And he does. He stumbles through it with the one and constantly putting his hand behind his back, like full fencing, like posture sometimes, but then remembering, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this other thing. I'm doing the other thing.
I'll turn to you and I'll say, whoa, that is something I've never seen before. Listen, you do what you do. The most important thing when you are defending yourself is that you are comfortable doing it.
I'm not, but I love a wager. That's
Okay, all right. And I say do you want us to roll for any of this, or should you want us to just kind
I
of
mean,
like
we can
narrate
totally do
this?
it that
think
way,
that'd be
or if you want to
funny.
narrate. Yeah, I think
Sure,
that'd be
okay,
good.
all right,
So I'm
all
gonna
right.
let you. I'm gonna let you choose. You can roll force as necessary or prove your worth. I feel like force is necessary because you're trying to hit and hurt these little things, but that's not really your intent. You're also kind of
Yeah.
showing off.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
whichever, like, I'll let you choose whichever's closest to kind of your vibe with your character. What are you doing? Are you actually trying to focus and hurt and bash the little thingy, or are you just kind of like showing off?
Rhoda is trying to prove a point, so
Okay.
we're
Trying to
doing fully prove your worth.
Okay, all right. Can we do different ones?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, because I think for me, I'm trying to get through my injury.
Yeah.
So I'm actually doing forces. I'm like really kind of like wailing on these things.
Yeah, because that's the difference between those two things. Is it's about your intent.
Yeah.
Force is
okay.
necessary is when you're focusing on actually harming or like hitting a thing to harm it.
Yeah.
And then prove your worth is more when you're like showmanship or doing something as a distraction or just like proving to yourself.
Sure.
And
Okay.
to all the invisible people that are definitely not here, looking at you, Road.
All right. So force is necessary. I'm rolling plus body. Oh, okay. All right.
This is really funny. My dice decided this is funny.
Okay.
I got 12.
Oh,
I got a 4.
I roll with a +0. And I got a flat 12.
Amazing. Amazing.
the dice.
I love
know.
it.
I've been talking about that for like days. Like
That
it's been amazing.
is
That's
awesome.
real funny.
So
Okay.
good.
All right. All right.
So you need to mark experience because you rolled
Oh, all right. Yeah. Right.
a failure.
Okay.
And yeah.
So funny. Yeah, Road, I think when he's set loose on the training drone, implements a little bit of what Jonas showed him, and uses more of that like upper body movement that is more associated with what you were showing him, but then will spin and turn it into a fencing maneuver, and move with more of that like dancerly nimbleness. And because he's so long, and you really like probably almost for the first time see how truly he's like limbs on a tree person. And when he gets a full extension, like I don't think that these drones were even prepared for how long he is, especially with this extremely long stick at the end of his arm. And he just 1, 2, 3, like he's done this 1,000 times.
Nice.
That's awesome. By the way, also under force is necessary. Since I rolled under 6, I'm shaken or injured, and I marked 2 conditions. I'm gonna mark reckless again,
Yeah.
and I'm going to mark insecure.
Oh no.
And I think you get to 3. I get to 2 hits, and then my injury kind of like flares up. You know, I move my arm the wrong way since I am using my other arm. And I just kind of drop to the ground like sticks. I'm gonna support myself on my sticks. And I wince through it, and then I just pick myself up.
By the time you're up, Road is next to you.
Okay, all right.
All right, hero. I will take that bottle, but you're going to stop now.
All right. Listen, I'm okay, but yeah. I look at the stick that is in your hand, and I tap it with mine, and I say, you hold on to that, and I grab you its mate, and I give it to you,
Thank you.
and I say, Yeah, you've certainly earned it.
Hmm.
And the bottle.
You've earned a lot more in your life than sticks. These are beautiful, but... And he looks to Trini. You've earned your stripes.
Yeah, I may have earned those, but the responsibility that comes with it, I suppose that is something that I will have to examine
Hmm.
as my life draws forward.
Well, not all of us are as brave. I'm going to call it bravery since you're hurt. Enough to sign up to jump into danger.
That you notice my eyes kind of drift down to the sticks,
Mm-hmm.
and you notice that there are a few letters carved in there, LTMA. And I say, we all have our callings. Suppose that one was just mine. I'm gonna go get ready for. I'm gonna go get myself cleaned up and get ready for getting out of our jump and making myself presentable to whoever we happen to find on the other end.
It'll just be a bunch of locals. but-
Yeah, but we are gonna want to have the story straight.
Yes. We're entering their system to trade.
Yeah, perfect, simple.
Go on. Thank you.
Take care of those things. They will hopefully serve you better than And then I kind of hold at that thought and I say, they'll hopefully do you good instead of otherwise.
They already have. I get a drink out of it.
And I saunter over to where I moved my shower after after
After the
horror.
incident.
yeah, after camouflage. Yeah. Who
Lawrence, while this is happening, you notice that before you went into jump, you had a message waiting for you on your communicator.
Oh. Bless you.
Your super secret one that
Oh.
that the
They keep
people
in the
don't know.
closet.
Yep, the closet communicator.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll listen to it.
Okay.
I wouldn't ignore it.
No. Yeah. It's a digital message, like a text message. It's not
Oh, I'll
like
read
voice.
it then.
Yeah. Basically, it's from one of your many contacts. Someone that you've kind of like, hey, give me a heads up about like if you see my people coming. And it's basically like, they use like a code word for you. What's your code word?
Ooh.
A code name for me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I'm assuming Lawrence isn't your name actually in your.
no.
Yeah.
no.
Normal man, Lawrence Benson.
Yeah.
Um,
And they wouldn't know your true name, are there? So you probably
Yeah.
have like, yeah.
I think. Oh, let's go with like a classic human Cold War name,
Mm-hmm.
like October.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
October. Warning. The heat knows you were on Heskizu. May not be far behind. I'm still watching. Payment expected soon.
All right. I think Lawrence puts on the jacket,
Mm-hmm.
and reaches into a drawer in the same back cubbyhole with the communicator,
Mm-hmm.
and he pulls out what. Well, I did this in reverse. He pulls out the thing before he puts on the jacket,
Mhm.
and he puts on like a classic, like tan leather shoulder holster.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of goes on, and he cinches it up, and Then he reaches back in the drawer and he pulls out this weapon that looks surprisingly human, like classic 1911 pistol. And he kind of checks the magazine and draws it back and safeties it and puts it in the holster, then puts the coat on. And then he's gonna like close the secret hatch and march out of the room in search of the rest of the crew.
All right. You find them. Jonas looks like he just got out of the shower. And it seems like you're coming up on this planet pretty
Yeah.
soon.
Are we up? I guess we're meeting up on the bridge.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, if I felt like you guys were not in the same place, I would probably be like, can everyone meet,
Yeah.
It seems like my people, not necessarily an armada, but at least agents of my people knew that I was on Hesquizo not long ago.
Should we alert them?
Well, the Hesquizians I'm not concerned about.
All right.
They certainly are able to defend themselves enough that they won't be a target. I don't feel like our friends back on Last Two are going to even have anyone notice them. It wouldn't make sense for resources to be spent to go out to some kind of planet like that.
They're smaller than some of the local fauna.
Exactly. But my concern is if they're that close to behind us, they may have advanced scouts in many different directions. So when we arrive, I will have to be extra cautious.
Fair enough. Shall we get you different makeup?
Oh. Suppose that's not a bad idea. And he's kind of annoyed because he just put all this. It's like if imagine an actor sitting for 4 hours in a chair and getting all made up, and then have somebody coming in and going, "Oh, that won't do." And
Yeah.
So he's probably like, "Yes, that's probably not a bad idea."
I'll tell you what. Why don't you come with me, and I'll see what I can, just to make you look a little bit less Lawrence Benson.
I'm gonna pull up. Can I pull up like cultural images from Barco 4? So like any kind of even just like a handful of photos of people or images of people.
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's like small, like if there's like a small local news story or something like that. There's no like vid of people like just everywhere.
Sure.
People don't really do that here.
There's not like the encyclopedia entry in this planet or like. Yeah.
I mean, that's like what it is. It's like the one picture with the little paragraph
like
about it.
all right.
People walking. Listen, as a historical researcher, the pictures are, look at this street. Isn't it great? There's a bunch of blurry people walking around.
Yeah.
Very similar to this, which is very strange because most planets, I mean, you've been on smaller places like this, so you know this is kind of part of the course for that.
Yeah.
But most places, especially with this level of tech, have just pictures of everything, like super future Google Maps. Like you could look at everything. This place doesn't have that. There's like kind of a rough map that like someone made in some sort of digital program.
Sure.
There's a couple images. There's no audio.
It's the Google Maps entry for a place that doesn't have its own website.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's like a couple
Claim
customer
this
photos.
business.
Lord.
Yeah, a couple of photos that a customer took, like outside, like
Oh,
Blurry.
Yeah.
Okay.
On
I'll.
iPhone 3. Yeah.
The last one was from like 10 years ago. Yeah. All right. I'll pull that up. I'll kind of like swipe it into my device, and then I'll swipe it into yours. I'm gonna say just get as close to that as you can.
I'll get it figured out.
All right.
We do have the advantage that these started at least with human settlers.
So we want to go more human. I was going to make you look a little bit more like maybe a Pyronin. Just
Well, that would
because
be fine.
I happen to have things from that complexion.
In terms of my people sending many agents, here or an invading force. We're wary of humans.
Smart.
You're very good at,
They're wily.
and they're very martial over the years.
You say that, and Jonas, you can feel Rhodes' eyes. You're very martial.
Sure, yeah. I'm just like on my unit, like just typing away, not saying anything.
And then like before we go, like Lawrence walks over to the console you're standing at,
Yeah.
and he reaches into the coat, and he pulls out the gun.
Nope.
He's not holding it like he's using,
Yeah.
but he literally
Yeah.
pulls it out with like the claw grip.
Sure, yeah,
And he
yeah.
kind of holds it, and he goes, "This was passed down through my family. We've had it for quite some time."
I'm gonna say that, again, you Aguinaldo kind of adhering to old traditions and being a vanguard of like, the culture's history as much as we can at the very least. I see that and I'm like, holy, and may I?
Yeah, absolutely.
I put my hands on
It
it.
is prepared to fire.
I just hold it in one hand, finger off the trigger, obviously. And I feel the weight and kind of like how different it is from the stuff that I use now. And I turn to you and I say, as this thing, as you say it's been passed down, have any of you or your kin ever used it?
Well, I've fired it several times.
Damn.
It's quite loud, especially
Yeah.
compared to modern caseless ammunition.
I grab it by the barrel, I pass it back to you.
But it comes from a time when we weren't quite as developed. My people sent scouts all over the galaxy to see where might be good targets. And, the old... We know, before I go any farther, we know about the existence of Old Earth, but we've lost all...
Yeah,
Like-
it's very similar to like in Firefly where some people have legends about it, and there's like
Yeah.
bits of the language that's kind of like
But, like,
filtered through.
everybody's kind of aware that it existed.
Yeah.
And there's a thing, and
Yeah.
there's, like, artifacts.
Yes.
So, yeah.
No, there's a lot of things people say are artifacts.
Sure, yeah.
And most of them are probably like reproductions or stuff that like when the people left Earth, some of it might actually be, but nobody, like, people don't go back to Earth and like get
We've
stuff.
lost contact on where it is.
Yeah, no idea
Yeah.
where it is. So
Somewhere there's a Skittles wrapper in like beautiful presentation in
Yeah.
a museum.
Right.
Or like in a very expensive home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just,
Somebody's private collection
Yeah.
of like wrappers, of like
Yeah,
like
so
you
this-
walk into
junk
this
food wrappers.
library hall and in a huge frame,
yeah.
Yep.
So
like
this
some random trash.
yeah, this item is probably worth like a vast fortune. Like there's
Yeah.
probably collectors who would give more money than even Rode is probably imagined for this.
He has
Okay.
no idea. He's like, that's a gun.
Yeah.
I feel like the physical weight and sort of the cultural weight of this, and I give it back to you, and I say, well, sorry, go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I say, I don't know where where your ancestors may have gotten this, and I frankly am wondering what the implications of this are. Do you have more of these things, or are there things from my heritage that that my people have not had access to that are in your stores?
Probably some, but this in particular, my family, we've always been infiltrators. That's our role in our training.
Hmm.
So when we first began to expand to the stars, we sent scouts, infiltrators all over, wherever we could detect radio signals. And we found upon the home of the humans, and we thought that we had a technological advantage. So we sent more infiltrators to attempt to prepare for a possible invasion. But your people were surprisingly adept at stopping our early intrusions.
Hmm.
But some of them made it back and reported that humans are quite ready for war, almost at a moment's notice. So we've always been a little wary.
I'm passing the gun back to you. I think before you grab it, like if your hand reaches for it, I'll pull it back and think about what I'm doing. But I'll resign myself to giving it back to you.
And he tucks it back away.
Yeah.
If you'd like to practice firing it at some point, you're more than welcome.
I think I am not quite ready for that yet.
Well,
But perhaps a little further down the line.
Jonas, what are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling odd because I've heard a lot of history. And it's like so much of the history has been colored by the victors of past wars and conflicts, right? So it's hard to say like what is real or what is true. So much of human history has stretched back very, very far and can't be verified at all, right? Like even when we started taking, even when we kind of hit sort of the information age and started documenting more of our history and more of our progress, like even those old forms of technology aren't viable anymore. But I do remember like hearing glimpses of, okay, there was this sort of big jump in our culture at one point, and then there was this other big jump in our culture at one point, and then there was that final big jump that pushed us to the stars. And I start thinking, holy shit, that wasn't us. But I am not gonna express that just yet. I start thinking that maybe like the grasp of your people kind of extends a lot further than I'd realized, beyond the immediate.
A lot of fear being built.
Yeah,
up.
I did mark insecure.
Oh,
And so, besides you being, a companion and a friend, if your people show up, like again, I don't know how I'm gonna deal with it.
Yeah.
All right. Is it time to go wine shopping?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna busy myself with like landing or like kind of getting us in a good orbit and getting us ready to
Transit from the gate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I'm gonna go have a makeover.
Yeah, that's right. Road
Yeah.
fully intends on Road doesn't let other people into his section of the ship. Like the door closes, the expectation is no one ever crosses the threshold. And he actually brings Lawrence into his rooms, plural.
I think we even get to the door, and Lawrence is like, I can wait here. It's fine.
You have to come with me.
Oh,
The
all
makeup
right.
is in there. I'm not bringing it out here.
I understand.
But tread lightly and try not to bleed on things.
No, I have no intention of spontaneous bleeding.
Good.
Unless your makeup application process is much different than I imagined. Very good.
And he opens the door, and inside is like out of a 5-star hotel. It is beautiful. It's still very obviously the interior of the ship, but there's a window because he took the captain's quarters when when he got here. He set up a little like state of the art little ensuite. Like it is full Star Trek with the like lounge area, and then there's like the little meeting space, the little galley, which is why no one ever sees him cook. And then there's a door that is clearly like where the bedroom would be that goes around the exterior of the ship that also has a window that, everyone's probably vaguely aware that he has this many rooms, but they look Nice.
Mhm.
This is what he does when no one can find him. It's because he's in here in his little beautiful 5-star hotel paradise. But he takes you, Lawrence, into the bathroom, which is like it's a master bathroom. It has a master bathroom.
Sure.
So there's like a whole closet and like double sink. The whole shebang is
It's like
in
as
here.
big as our quarters.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because
Is it big enough that it has like a full like salon chair and one of those hair washing?
I don't think so. 'Cause
Okay, I just didn't. How far it went?
He would put that in,
Sure.
but someone would have to wash his hair, and there isn't a person to do that. But he does have like a stool in the bathroom that he just kind of brings over and plops in front of the mirror, and then just kind of like leans back and stares at you for an uncomfortable amount of time, just kind of thinking. I think I have just the thing. And he turns around and starts to like collect things and is going to do his best attempt at making you look like you are a little bit tracing to Pyronin with like some scales that he actually has. You can see like, you know how people have like false nails and false eyelashes? He has false scales. Because if you
Oh.
lose a scale, that's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
yeah.
he's got like all kinds of little like false things that he can add to your face, and he just like
Oh.
starts to kind of fill in, and you kind of also get to see that there is a lot of. We already knew there was a lot of facade here. Come on, you've met him at this point, but that there's like product for it that is developed. This is not just him. His entire species is like this.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
There's like from new in packaging, like loose pin feathers and things like that, all set up and ready to go. So he is like in his element.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I'm along for the ride.
Yeah.
Like, just holding up hair, in places and.
And he even has like some purple ones to go with the wig too, so you don't even have to like get rid of the wig. Despite his comments before, he's just like, no, we're gonna embrace the wig. We're just gonna go for it. And he does you up as best as he can as a Pyronin, as a very short Pyronin.
Maybe I'm young
Yeah.
or very old.
Yes.
I think the whole time Lawrence is pretty silent while you're working, in an attempt to not move.
Yeah.
But like watching all of this, we get towards the end, and you probably get I very much appreciate this help.
It's not just for you, it's for all of us, but it's important that you can come with us on this mission because you also deserve to drink something that isn't mystery bottles from the ship. The Amber Star Special is not special.
Well, it seems to have been special in a different way.
Singular.
Yes.
Well, you look passable.
I shall do my best. And like, as Lawrence stands back up, you see that like he takes a second and then kind of shifts his body a little bit to try and mimic your movements better. So like he then like does a couple of moves that are very you.
Terrifying.
Right? Like just a couple of things that like he's observed you do with your hands
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. And then he kind of works out some of the moves a little bit more and then stands up as tall as he possibly can and goes, oh, well, all right. I hope this goes well.
Uncanny. Fascinating. All right, let's go. The wine's not going to buy itself.
Oh, yes, I should bring some money. And then, like, he turns off and
Do
is back
people
to
not bring money when they go out?
I normally don't pay for things.
Full offense.
Okay, I'm gonna be waiting at the shuttle for you.
Yeah.
No, yeah. If it's shuttle time, then
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
when
go
Lawrence gets back and he's like tucking a wallet into his
Yeah.
pants.
when you approach, you see that I'm at my locker, and I've got a tin, like kind of like almost a like one of those old graham cracker tins. You know, back when they made packaging out of
Is there
that.
throwing stuff in there?
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. No, but like my meager sort
Butter
of
cookies.
Yeah.
my spare credits are in there.
Oh.
And I'm gonna say that the currency in this particular case, there are a series of like metallic chips that can like interlock. And I'm
Oh, cool.
interlocking pieces into like a value that,
Yeah.
you know, I think will
Oh, okay.
serve me to get your bottle down there.
Yeah.
And then I'll leave like a handful of those. I'll shut the tin and stick it on the top shelf of my locker, close that up. And I'll turn to you and I'll say, hey, all right, let's go away on a holiday.
To the beautiful place, Barco 5?
4. Listen, it's got its charms, all right?
All right.
Just stay away from the Southern District. And get a little seedy over there.
What if I want to get a little seedy?
I would recommend the Eastern District. It's at least a little safer.
Thank you.
Might wanna think twice about the Western District too.
So you're saying just don't go anywhere. That's what I'm hearing.
I'll land on the north. I think that's the only one that's left. But no, just you know, keep your wits about you. Keep your credits in your front pocket, and we should be all right.
Off we go.
I
All right.
certainly hope someone tries to steal our money.
And then actually, when I turned to you,
Terrifying.
I realized that I saw you like walk in,
Yeah.
and I started this dialogue, and then I turned to you and I'm like, oh. All right, we're gonna have to come up with a story, so I want to make sure we all have our stories straight. Are you going to be a valet, Lawrence, or a traveling companion?
Certainly. Maybe do your young often travel as assistants? And
Other places they don't.
well, certainly.
Interesting. I was thinking bodyguard, but
Oh, I
Whatever
can do that
suits
as
you.
well.
All right, it's good enough for me. Let's go. And yeah, I'll do a little genteel bow and like wave you into the shuttle.
and Rode strides in to the co-pilot seat. Just pops down.
Okay. Yeah, I'll pop in, start getting everything spun up and strap in and head down to the planet.
I'll probably send a message to Nolvath like, we'll be back.
You know,
Mm-hmm,
Keep Tavrock from leaving with the ship.
yeah. I think on the way down, Rode just kind of leans over. You know, it wouldn't hurt if you wanted to, I don't know, do a harder burn to get down into the atmosphere, in case you wanted to go for a little spin.
I turn to you. I give you my little and then say, strap in everybody, it's gonna be a fun ride.
Rode immediately regrets this and starts white knuckling, but it's just like, haha!
Yeah,
Little,
yeah.
like-
And it's like drop ship fast. You know?
One express elevator to hell.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
manages to not scream, to his credit.
In the pipe, 5. Yeah.
Amazing. So good. So yeah, you get down there. Road, you know, especially like with your city planning, you look down and like the South District and the West District and the East District and the North, they're all kind of the same district. There's not a very big
it's all
town.
one city.
Yeah, you're talking like 4 blocks difference and like between the South District and
I
the
think
North
just looking
District.
over it, he just goes, districts. Plural.
Yeah, so it's a very small town, but you know, the buildings are of like a modern make, most of them. As you get kind of the farther outskirts, it is a little bit older concrete, and then it looks like the farther out buildings are actually made of some sort of like adobe brick or something
Cool.
from like the local
Local material.
from the local
Yeah.
earth. So it's like the center where they know all the commerce is going to happen. They want the ships to come in there. They've put like a lot of effort into making it as modern as possible so that people come and bring them the stuff they need.
Cool.
And then it like goes more into like what their real lives are like on the edges of town. Yeah. And yeah, you're able to land the shuttle easily. There's not a lot of demand for the medium amount of parking spaces they have for shuttles
sure.
and things like
Orange
that.
County
Yeah.
free parking.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. Oof.
Yeah, oh, the dream.
I know, right?
Yeah, so, yep, you just sit and park it, and you're there, and someone comes looking kind of surprised and comes out to you. They're in like a little like coat, and like they're putting on a hat very quickly. And hello, welcome.
Hello.
We were not expecting travelers today. What can I help you?
I'm sorry, were we supposed to put in some sort of docking notification?
I mean, probably not. We can see when people are landing well enough.
We're just passing through. We're the crew of the Amber Star.
Oh, I have never heard of it.
And you never will again.
Oh.
But we're here to trade a little. With
Oh,
figures in the
excellent.
area.
Wonderful. I can. What are you looking for? I can absolutely help you find whatever you need. Maybe. I mean, we don't have a lot of, but depending on what you need, I will do my best to get it to you if we have it.
Well, we need some basic supplies, food.
Oh yeah.
Eggs have been a bit on a run lately. Don't tell Tavrock. And we're in the market specifically for if you have any local, interesting, or even imported spirits or wine of any kind.
Oh, we definitely have some homemade spirits. We've got those. I think we probably have some bottles of wine in a few of the fancier houses, but we might be able to make it work to trade something. Yes. So what do you have to trade?
Rode just holds up a finger, one very long finger, just I'm sorry, trade, and reaches into his pocket and
No.
literally reaches down into his strange thigh holster and just comes up with gems. Just gems in his hand.
I see that, and I kind of interpose my body from where it might be seen easily from other people's views.
And it's not
Just to kind of hide
a
it.
lot of them, but
Sure.
it's there's a few nice cut stones in his hand.
His eyes get wide. Oh, wow. Yes, we will find you wine. We will. Yes, absolutely. Would you be staying the evening? We have a nice bed and breakfast that you can stay at. And we can get you plenty of food. We have a nice, a fairly nice restaurant. They'll actually bring food to you at the table. You don't have to make any of it.
Oh, how novel.
It's very exciting.
I'm very sure it is. I think we haven't quite decided if we're staying the night, because we can just hop up to our ship. But, yes, just some direction on where to go. And as he's talking, Rode takes one of the finer little gems, it's a ruby or something, and just holds it out to this attendant.
He freezes, almost he doesn't know what to do.
Do you want it or not?
I'll interject at this point. I'll say that's to make sure that our ship is well taken care of.
I figured there was some sort of portage fee. And for your assistance.
I'm happy to give my assistance. There is no fee, but his brain is short circuited. This is probably more money than
then this little
probably in years he would probably make. But I will watch your ship. Are you sure?
Yes. I'm very certain.
He takes it out it's
Yeah.
hands it's a fragile Fabergé egg, and is just holding it in his hands he's afraid it's gonna disappear, and then just quickly puts it in his inside pocket on his jacket, and just keeps his hand right over it so he can keeps feeling it in the pocket. Yeah, I will. Yes. And then he quickly rattles off which places to get your things. I'm happy to come with you and show you the way.
I believe your job is to watch the ship.
Yeah, I'll kind of look at their name tag and say, Portright Yam.
Oh no!
Yeah. We can find our way around. Thank you very much. Just keep an eye on the shuttle here.
Orderson.
I love it. I didn't think of that. That's amazing. That's a callback to our One Ring campaign. If you don't get the joke, you should go back and listen and watch that.
The best mayor of any small
Best
Any
town.
small little One Ring town. Amazing. Okay. Very good.
It's not a one-horse town. It's a one.
That's a one ring. Amazing.
Oh my gosh, I need that right now.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and Porter Yam stand and like he is watching your ship. Like
Love
he is
this. I love this. For
very,
us. Love
very
this for him.
yeah, and his hand's still like on the little pocket.
It's like a ruby smaller than a centimeter.
Yeah. It's a lot for him.
Yeah.
You have changed his life without
Yeah.
even like meaning to. All right.
Maybe now he can go for his political aspirations to become mayor
Yeah,
of the town.
That's absolutely like that's
Oh, I
how
love
I
it.
can.
We've done it.
100%. We've done it. All right. So yeah, you know where you can probably procure a bottle of wine. You know where you can get some food. You know where there's a restaurant.
Okay.
I was going to buy food supplies as well as, all the other things since we are here and they do have food even if it is from the dirt. Looks around at the town full of dirt.
Do we know what kind of fauna lives in the area? And like what kind of flora there is?
Cricket.
Yes. Usually the sound dampers edited out, so they probably won't hear it. But you're looking around. It's sort of like, and at least in this area, it's been very well cleared. We're gonna say it's sort of planet Southern California, like Western. Since we're going with the Western
Yeah.
motif, we'll just stick
Sure,
with it.
yeah.
So it's like kind of looking off. There's these like strange trees, like that are not cactus exactly, but they sort of look like the Joshua trees.
Sure, yeah.
And they're like very like spaced out, so they obviously aren't clumping together. It's very flat here, and it goes into kind of rolling hills with low brush, and then a few kind of like what look like trees, but very few and far between. It's not necessarily like full on desert, but like headed that direction.
Okay, all right. I'm going to turn to you, Road, and say, food supplies are certainly useful. I think if we are looking for fine spirits, the restaurant might be a place to go.
Yes, I think. Well, we've got a store, and I think, yes, the restaurant might be a place to go shopping, since apparently they do actually bring you your food to your table.
It's exciting stuff. It's been a while.
All right, if you would like to eat at a restaurant, we can certainly indulge.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll saunter over. Are we all... like, Lawrence, did you have anything in particular?
I've never eaten in a restaurant.
All right, now we have to go to the restaurant.
Yeah, I think we look at each other and we grab you like arm in arm and we drag you over. Okay, all right, fantastic.
All right. I'm very excited to see Lawrence eat in a restaurant.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm a little curious myself.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go, and it's kind of like the wraparound porch, but it's like futuristic type. So it's a lot of like metal and things like that. It's made out of it's fairly high tech material. It's a little odd that it would be out here, but it's metal that doesn't get hot in the sun.
Oh,
So it's got like this like reflective capability that keeps it from getting super hot. So a little bright, shiny, but like also much more comfortable to be in, especially in like a climate like this.
Cool.
So you're able to go up. They do have outside tables, and they also have inside tables. And there's a few locals there, and you are getting a lot of attention. This is obviously like the more affluent members of the community, and they seem to be enjoying themselves. And they're doing the thing where Like they're kind of like staring, but then like try not to look like they're staring.
Oh boy, been there.
Yeah.
Rode strides up to who he assumes is the host. Whether or not they actually are, to be determined.
Yes.
Hi, hello, yes. A table for 3, please.
Oh, yes, right away. Do, but do you all eat? I just want to make sure I warn the chef.
Did I see any other of my people here? Any other, like, paladins?
Probably not.
Okay.
It's not right now, anyway.
Okay.
He doesn't seem like freaked out or worried. Like, so just kind of like
Yeah.
the one he's really kind of like looking at a little bit is like Jonas, like.
I'll try anything at least once.
It's true.
Mhm.
I've seen it.
Have you been here before? You look very familiar.
I scrutinize the place. I look around, and I say, I myself have not, but yeah, there is something about this place that rings a little familiar to me.
Yeah. And yeah. He kind of like waves it off. Well, come right this way. And he takes you down to a very nice table for this place and sits you right down and hands you some menus. And if there's any specific dietary needs, please let me know and we'll do our best to accommodate it.
Wonderful, thank you. Oh, and question for you. We're
Yes.
also here to do some trade. Do you happen to have any interesting stores of spirits or wine that we might be able to purchase to drink now, but also to maybe procure from your establishment?
Yes, I can get you a list and a menu for now, and then a list of what we can sell in quantity to you.
Fantastic. I'll also be taking a bottle of your finest whiskey.
Right away, yes, of course. What type of currency are you paying?
Oh, well, what would you like? And Rode reaches into his pocket and like also produces the little like spinny cloud in his hand, like implying that he's gonna be able to pay digitally.
Yes.
Or pulls out more of the like gemstones.
We would prefer the gems if that's all right.
Fantastic. I have plenty.
I'll make sure that we calculate exactly, but there will be more than
We
enough.
can weigh it
yes.
later.
Oh, he likes that answer. Very good, very good. Then I will get the list of spirits, and you may order what you would.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for being here. Seems very excited, very nice, especially now that the proof of payment has been shown.
Yeah.
You kind of get the feeling that there's probably more than a few people who've shown up on this little planet, taken what they needed and like left without necessarily paying for it. So they like it when people come, but they're also a little, they're not naive to what can happen.
Okay.
I'm 100% watching them to see if they talk to anybody. Now that they know that Rode has a bunch of cash.
Okay.
So like I'm actually acting like a bodyguard, but just because like if they're running off to be like whispering to somebody and pointing, that kind of thing, just to know if we need to watch out for anyone.
Yeah, you see they kind of go back. They've got like swingy little doors to the kitchen, and you see them like gesturing like excitedly to the cook, and then the cook gets really excited, but it doesn't seem like nefarious. It just seems like, oh, we're gonna make so much money today. Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna make sure they order everything, like make sure it's good, like that sort of thing.
They didn't detour to a table in the back corner and talk to somebody in
Someone
the shadows.
sitting in the back smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you are definitely not the only people here, though. There's other people in the room, so.
I'm going to get up and excuse myself, just saying that I've got to use the facilities.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk, if I can find like a subtle corner where I can flag down one of the employees of the place. I'm going to ask them, I'm going to, hail somebody. If they come along, I turn to them and I say, what's your conversion rate for Gothak Prime credits? And I'm going to show that little series of plates that I've interlocked. And I'm just going to show it and say, like.
Now, there's only 3 employees at this place.
Okay,
There's,
sure.
Like, the host slash owner,
Sure.
the cook, and then like what is kind of like the busser, which it's like a teenage kid.
Sure. Okay. All right. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna go to like the cook's window or like where
Okay.
the cook is.
Yeah.
Even if I kind of have to like slip into the back kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, I'm going to set that down. And I'm going to say, I've got 500 Gothak Prime credits.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best bottle I can get with this.
We'll just get you the best one we've got. I don't know how much that is, but that's probably a lot.
I'm going to say, tell you what, do you know what the vintage is at the very least? Is this what? A year old? 10 years old? A century?
Oh, I mean, we've got old bottles from like when people first started settling here. I don't know if they're any good. If there might be vinegar, I don't know, but we can try it.
I'll go for it. I'm like,
Okay.
bring it over.
All right. I mean,
If it's aged well, you get to keep that.
yeah. You see, like, kind of goes back in the back of the kitchen. There's like some stairs up to like where there's like some sort of storage or something probably. He goes
Okay.
up there, and you can kind of they do the thing where you're like waiting, and you hear the clang and like digging around up there above you. Stepping and very quickly, like frantically searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes back down with something that's in like a clear kind of aluminum bottle. They don't really use like glass.
Sure. Okay.
And I think this is the oldest and the best one. The label's a little bit torn on it, but it says it's from Omicron 7, and it's I think it's about 200 years old.
Okay, all right. I will pull that. It's sealed, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to break the seal now that I think about it. I'm going to take a chance with it and just kind of feel feel the aluminum in my hand, kind of spin it around a little bit, and I'll say, yeah, I think this is going to do. I like pull the plates apart and I kind of set it down in their hand. So Jonas has like, I'm gonna say that part of his flight suit or part of his general outfit is a little pack, and it's not all a soft pack. There's some structure to it, so you can kind of like pop it open, and I'm just gonna slip the bottle in there and then close it back up, and then make my way back to the table.
Okay. And you make your orders.
Yeah. Road orders a lavish meal for everyone.
Yeah. They are excited to bring it to you, and they bring everything out very quickly and bring out extras and like
Oh,
everything.
one more thing.
Okay.
Can part of this meal be like some sort of carapace? That just has like stuff, like whatever this creature was, it was just cooked in its own like body.
Yeah.
And we just start eating from that. Yeah. And it's a communal thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, what's the culture that has the one shared like pot of tea?
Oh, yeah.
And everybody
yeah.
has their own metal straw.
Yeah.
That is kind of like theirs, and they like bring it wherever they go to like sip from this. It's kind of like that, so it's a communal thing between all of us.
I was thinking like a big saltfish as well.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
in that world.
Yeah. And it's palatable enough. Like the texture's a little weird for me, for like, for a human, the texture's a little odd kind of going down the throat, but it's...
I think Rode was very much so like skeptical, and then the food started coming out, and he was like, oh, actually, I can be here. And he just started to like relax and enjoy.
Awesome. I think like once we finish that up, I'm actually going to ask if I can keep the carapace.
Oh, cool.
I was literally about to say, like, you start eating some of it, and then I'm like, reach out and grab some of it and break off a little piece of the carapace.
Terrifying.
Start chewing it. Yeah, I get like the chips and dip, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
dipping
Yeah,
the innards in it.
Yeah.
I say, just leave a little bit of this. I kind of want to take this back to
Absolutely.
Nolvath.
I
I think
apologize.
this is something Tavrock might be able to grow into.
Oh.
Aw.
It does have a bit of a resemblance. Just as a warning.
Oh no.
Crawl inside this dead elder. and make a home.
Yep.
Who knows? It might be a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll hold on to it and see what happens, you know.
Rode also buys like a case of wine, but also makes a point to buy like a very nice bottle of whiskey.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Okay. Have your fantastic meal. They're very helpful. They get you everything they possibly can and more. And yeah, they are thrilled to have you. And at this point, it's sort of a spectacle for everyone else kind of in the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, like everyone's just kind of like, wow, look, they ordered that. Wow. Like, oh, and like the people are starting to kind of like, I don't know, just
Notice.
like, yeah, well, they notice, and also like, you can see that they like are really gonna like you can tell, especially you Road, these people are gonna try and make themselves known to you once you leave. Like it's rude to approach during your meal.
Of course.
But the minute you're walking the street, you're probably going to have a lot of people, well, welcome, my name's so-and-so, I happen to own this business,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
And I think when it's time to settle up, besides like having plenty of money, because Rhoda is just stupidly wealthy, specifically says, I've got this for the heroes of last two.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Okay.
And I think you probably throughout the meal noticed that I try everything, but I don't actually eat very much.
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause you're still
Because
still
I'm
pretty
still
sated.
full. But be like specifically trying to
Not.
like watch you eat
Yeah.
something and then specifically genteelly put little tiny bites into my mouth and keep my lips as closed as possible the whole time, just to shine it on, you know.
Amazing. All right.
I'll turn to you and quietly say, I appreciate it, Rode. That is one of the finest meals that I've had in my life.
Fascinating. We really need to get you to other planets. The food was good though.
It really was. Like it was
Yeah.
not as quite as sophisticated as you usually are used to, but it was definitely like it was good.
It was good.
There was a
It good
talented
eating.
chef. Yeah.
And this, and he produces the bottle of whiskey, is for you.
Well, I think it's only fair then. And I, pop open my pack, the bottle like shrinks out. I'll say, I am a man of my word. And I pass this one on to you.
And he kind of looks it over. Fascinating.
I stick the whiskey in my pack, and as I'm doing it, I'm gonna say, "You're going straight to Trini."
And that's also to make sure that you are not drinking strange ship juice around me ever again. Consider that an insurance policy for me and less of a bet settling.
I'm gonna say, I don't mind a little adventure in my life, but all right, sure,
Yes,
sure.
I'm aware.
This is certainly a finer bottle than I have found in the ship so far.
I should hope so. Thank you for this. We'll have to share it sometime.
I give you a little salute.
Should I also have bought a bottle of something?
No, not at all. I have, and he kind of like taps the little like sidecar, little like caddy thing that he's brought to carry all of the crap that he intends on buying. I have us covered plenty.
All right.
And I turn to you and I say, you get to enjoy some of this too. Dink, dink. And I kind of tap the top of the bottle sticking out of my pack.
I'm very excited.
Omicron 7. Fascinating.
This was education.
Yes, you did quite a good job in that.
And I don't believe anyone in the restaurant had ill intentions.
Well, that's good because the food was too good for that to be poison or something to that effect.
Oh no, the staff, but I meant the other clientele.
Oh.
So
I
you're like,
did make quite a scene, however.
Good.
so you're kind of like walking down the street. Okay.
Going there to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Looking for like a general store, that kind of stuff. Buy eggs, buy, flour,
Yeah.
basic needs.
There's definitely one.
Yeah.
So the three of you are in it. At one point, you kind of wander around a store when you're with other people. You don't like necessarily stay right with them. Lawrence, you kind of like wander to another section. It's not a very big store, so it's not like, and this little kind of scruffy looking kid like runs straight up to you and is like, "Do you have a weird name?"
I think there is like a momentary flash of panic because Lawrence didn't come up with
Has heard
the right
Rhodes'
name.
massive name.
Right, yeah, but I don't know what you would consider weird, small thing.
It's like a October. Is your name October?
Quiet, child. What do you need?
I mean, it's only for October. Are you October?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, just quiet.
Children and spying.
Yes.
What a combination.
Like Lawrence is like, what a planet.
This place.
Like,
I'm supposed to tell, if you're October, I'm supposed to tell you that you're expected. I don't know what that means. But here, you're supposed to know that to go there. And you're supposed to go by yourself.
and I'll like, it's
It's
a local map
coordinates.
or
No, it's like specific coordinates.
like space?
Yeah,
Co-
space
oh, okay,
travel.
Yes. Thank you. Now please quietly exit.
He kind of stares at you like expectantly.
And Lawrence reaches over and takes something off the shelf. And hands it to the child.
Like they seem cool with that. All
It's
right.
something like a vibroblade.
yeah. Here, child, have this weapon. It's a pickaxe.
Like the BBC production of Father,
Yeah.
where death is like, "You want a sword, child? Here you are." And everybody's like, "Why would you do that?"
Yeah.
They have to learn sometime.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they go scampering off.
Well, I'd probably swing back through the store and walk past and be like, "I need to check on something.
Alright.
I shall meet you back at the shuttle."
Wonderful, you know where it is.
And then I'll head out of the store.
Okay. Great. I think we're gonna end right there tonight.
Oh.
So we only have a little while left, and I think wherever we go will be a little bit longer than what we have. So
Yeah.
we're ending with you two in a general store with very full tummies and
Bye,
great
you two.
alcohol, and Lawrence wandering off after a scamper. I guess not after the child, but like after getting a message from a strange child who talked too loudly. All right. Let's go ahead and do our end of session stuff. So let's do
Yeah.
our personal directives.
I did it.
You did it. All right. What was yours?
Apologize for losing control.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. All right. So you get to choose whether you clear a condition, mark XP, or earn a trust. And then you set a new personal directive.
I'm gonna clear a condition.
That's a good call.
Mhm.
I don't think I'll be resentful.
I accomplished mine.
Oh, okay.
Mine was to get Road to cut loose.
Oh,
And boy, did
nice.
ya.
And so I'll say I did. I mean, with the whole like Kali training.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna mark an experience for that.
Okay.
And mine was to talk to Jonas about volunteering to face danger.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Wow.
Have it dialed in this week.
Made out like
Nice.
bandits.
Yeah. Dang. I will also be taking an experience point. for
Yeah.
that.
I gotta erase this one and figure out.
Fantastic. Yeah. Nice and new one. All right. Well, thank you for joining us for session 6 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play. If you liked this system and this game and the story we're telling, check out goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter. You can follow the page right now. July 9th, the Kickstarter will be going live. You can support it then. And if you're in the future, then hopefully you can go buy it.
goldenlassogames.com.
Thank you. Good job. So I'd like to thank our chat mods for their hard work. Thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. You can join their heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. We have some new names on there now. It's super exciting. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Let's start with Dave this time.
Hi, everybody. I have been CADave. I will continue to be CADave, and I will hopefully continue to be Lawrence Benson in the future after a little journey off to the space place. We'll see how that works out. I am going to be streaming my Dave the Diver tomorrow night, like normal. After that, I'm on all sorts of streaming hiatus for a couple of weeks as I drag my family all the way across the United States and back in kind of epic road trip to let my kids see the country and to deal with a mother-in-law that needs dealing with in all of those ways.
We'll be
There are times that I wish I really was Lawrence.
No.
But that's exactly, yes.
Not the cannibalism part, but
I mean, if that's the way to resolve things.
Not cannibalism yet.
yes.
But after that, I will be back here and on my stream. And then we'll be pushing into the later summer.
Yeah.
Fun. And who knows what's coming. I know coming up, friend Jason of the channel and his own Probably Okay Places, he and I are going to be doing some Star Trucker.
Yeah.
Either competitively or cooperatively. I don't know. We're going to come up with some fun stuff once we see the game, and we'll stream it and do some things. So I'm excited to get into that too.
Excellent.
I was gonna ask if you rented a truck to drive across the United
That would be
States,
really
so it's
fun.
like truck driver, simulator IRL.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That would be pretty fun. No, this is just going to be car based.
Not a mega rig RV.
No, because I don't want to deal with
No,
it.
they're
Yeah.
hard
Oh,
to park,
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to drive in and out of New York City at one point.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
That's not a Class A
No.
Class A motorhome kind of visit.
No.
Yeah, we'll see. I also have to cross through like South Dakota and Minneapolis at one point.
Oh,
It's apparently all underwater right now. So good luck to the people of South Dakota and
I gotta
Minneapolis.
check on my friends in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis is okay, but like basically like the whole of South Dakota and most of the lower part of Minnesota, flood watches and a dam just collapsed today
Oh my God.
in southern Minnesota.
Be safe
And-
out there, everybody.
Yeah. No kidding.
All the places that we were planning to drive. So I'm like, yeah, just stop raining now. So it'll be all dry by the time we get there. That'd be great. Please. Thank you.
Yep.
Cheers.
Okay. Well, wishing you a safe trip.
Thank you.
Certainly gonna miss you here at the stream.
Always.
But can't wait to get you back. Hi everybody, I'm Jay. I have been Jonas. You can find me at Transplant Asian on Instagram and at JAfrica, pretty much everywhere else. And let's see, my next big thing is I'm gonna be DMing some games over at Conquest Ventura mid-July. I think it's July, I can't remember. I'll bring it in. I'll bring it in a future stream.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's fine.
Not looking that far forward yet.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, catch me DMing some premiere games over there. And otherwise, you'll catch me here every Monday night. And yeah, it was kind of nice to have a cozy little R&R episode, actually.
Yeah. Hi everybody, I'm Kai. You can find me all over the internet as a style of Mladris. You can find me this week on a charity one-shot for Pantsless Tables. We're doing a 5e one-shot at 6 p.m. as part of their 48-hour charity stream for Trans Lifeline. So super excited to kind of close out Pride Month with a little bit more fun charity with some of my buddies that I don't get to play with very often, so it'll be fun. And then on Oh my goodness, is that all I'm doing this week?
Whoa.
Whoa, everybody. It's because I'm in prep for a lot of other projects.
Yeah.
But, you can check me out on, I will be there as one of the mod team because on Saturday, Transplant RPG, my other home channel, we are premiering Godkiller Last Hope on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 5, I know how times work. Come watch Godkiller Last Hope on Saturday. We're going to be on the front page of Twitch, and I'm going to be braving the wilds as a
Nice.
mod. I will see you all there for a premiere of Transplanter's first in-studio actual play using Godkiller, the system written by RGM by Connie Chong. It's a great duet system, and Connie and C are two players, and it's going to be incredible. So I'm very excited for that. I'll be doing that on Saturday. And then on top of all of that, I'm also nominated for 2 Crit Awards, and my show, The Chaos Protocol, is also nominated for Best Series. So I'm super excited to be nominated for doing exactly what you see here as Best Indie Player, doing all sorts of things, including 2 other shows that I've already done here with these lovely people. So go check out Crit Awards. Vote for me. Vote for all the other amazing people in all of the other categories as well. Vote for people in my categories that aren't me. Just go vote because it's a good time, and go check out all the great people on there. I'm nominated for Best Indie Player, Best Makeup and Costume because I really like this stuff. I can't stop. And then Best Series for Transplanter. And yeah, thanks for checking that out and for hanging with us. And I'll see you all in a week.
Yeah. And I'm Kimi Hughes. You can find me at Golden Lasso Girl or at Golden Lasso Games or at Happy Jacks RPG, all of those things. Support the Kickstarter, and yeah.
Which is
It launches on July 9th. And if you go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter, it'll redirect you to the page. Because that's a lot easier to remember than the
and there's
wild
still time
things.
to pre-follow.
Yeah, pre-follow. That's what we're still working on for the next few weeks. So tell your friends to go pre-follow that page because that pre-follow number really has a lot to do with how successful it is that first day, and that first day dominoes into how successful overall a campaign is and how much attention it gets from other people on Kickstarter. It's a whole thing. I'm not nervous about it at all. It's totally fine. I'm not obsessing or refreshing that page every 5 seconds. It's okay. But yeah, all right. We'll have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next week with a stand-in, a substitute, if you will, for our dear Dave while he is braving the wilds of the Americas.
Lawrence's new disguise.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, hey.
That would be great.
That would be
would
terrifying,
awesome. I
actually.
can leave the hair here.
Oh, God.
So anyway, we will see you next week. Thank you so much. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Hi, everybody.